Row.
Okay. All right, I think we can start the Chapter 22 business meeting. I'll call the meeting to order. And we'll start with Vinnie in the meeting minutes from November.
All right. Where are my November sheets? Right here. November 18th, 2020, virtual meeting via Zoom. Meeting called to order at 7:07 by Tom. A mention of Roy Taylor's passing was made. The minutes of the October meeting were read. A motion to approve by Pete Peters and seconded by Gary Hartman. Motion passed. Treasurer's report, no action on accounts. An extension was filed for our taxes. Gary is working to assemble the information that our tax preparer needs. Motion to approve by Tom, seconded by Vinnie. Motion passed. Frequency coordination, nothing to report. Certification, a new specialist, ATSC 3 is coming. The app deadline for the first testing session in February of 2021 is December 31st. There are prerequisites for this test. See the national website for details. In national news, the new SBE.org website is live. A mentee program has about 70 mentors and mentees. There will be a webinar on December 3rd presented by Chris Imlay, SBE General Counsel, on BA spectrum allocations and regulatory issues. See the website for information. Expo. No new info. Officers will meet to discuss Chris Imlay's review of the contract with the hotel. We may cancel for 2021 if we can't get changes. Our next meeting will be December 16th. Discussion on election nights and how they have changed over the past 30, 40 years ensued. And a motion to adjourn at 7:29 p.m. by Tom, seconded by Pete Peters. Motion passed. The program was Ralph D'Onofrio and Chris Armstrong from NetAlly talking about their line of networking tools and software. Any changes, additions, corrections?
All right.
Move to approve.
Motion to accept the minutes. Do we have somebody in Chapter 22 that would like to second that? Just state your
Make a
name, please.
motion.
Craig Fox, yes.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, great.
Who had the motion?
Craig Fox.
Okay.
All in favor in Chapter 22? Say
Aye.
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 Opposed? Say nay. Okay, let's move on. Treasurer's report. Gary?
Well, over the past month, we have written no checks. We have received no income except for, I think about 15 cents worth of interest earned. Our efforts are ongoing to get everything at our bank switched over, and on the local level, we're there on the in terms of the way we process our credit cards. The bank has changed what they call the processing platform, and we have been working to bring ourselves in compliance with that, and it's been complicated by the fact that the quote unquote owner of our account with the processor was Roy Taylor, who unfortunately is no longer with us.
Okay.
But Vinnie has joined this this effort, and he spent his time on it this very week, and he can tell you more about that. And that's
Yeah, I have been getting phone calls from M&T's representative about it, wondering how we're doing. And now twice this week, I've tried to get authorize.net to make the changes that are necessary. They've so far been unsuccessful. Today, we actually made some attempts and tried to run some charges. They were getting errors in their platform. And what they say that means is either they have the wrong information provided by the bank, or there is an error in communication. They've opened a ticket at the bank to see what's going on. They may have numbers that they generated for the wrong processing platform. The new one's called Vertiv, and they sent numbers for something called TSYS. So that might be what's clogging up the works here. Either way, we'll keep plugging along and try to resolve it.
It's ongoing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my next advice is we just pull all the money and switch banks.
You know how long that will take us?
Yeah.
We'll get a check. I know a liquor store we can cash it.
All right. Where are we on taxes, Gary?
Basically the same place.
Okay.
We're still putting together the information that in the past that Roy had put together. That some of it is not as straightforward as I thought it would be,
Okay.
but it's getting there.
Okay. That it?
Yeah, that's it.
Would you like to make the motion to accept the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Any? Who would like to second that? State your name.
Second, Jim Peck.
Okay, Jim. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Nay. All right. Gary, frequency coordination certification reports.
Okay, nothing to report on frequency coordination. And on certification, nothing locally, but on the national level, SBE is concerned about the same thing that many of us have been concerned about, and that is who is going to replace us. And many of you should have received on December 1st an email dispatch from the national office, and just let me read a paragraph from this. In the past, part-time employees and smaller market stations served as a training ground for new talent. Streamlining the workforce, consolidation of ownership, and a reduction in the electronic technology programs in trade schools and colleges have culminated in a looming crisis. And the SBE is uniquely positioned to provide a solution. Drawing on existing SBE programs, the Society has assembled a valuable service to the broadcast industry going forward. The goal, training new entrants to the field of broadcast technology. And there are 4 elements that combine to create the new technical professional training program. And they go on to list them. So and that's something I think we should all be interested in. And if you didn't already receive this, get in touch with us. Tom or I can forward this to you. And that's certification.
Okay. Another new business, notes from John Pori, which will be the last time he sends us notes. Announced in November, the new ATSC 3 specialist certification exam will be available to take during the February 2021 exam period. Deadline to apply is December 31st. You'll find more information on the national website. And the SBE Board of Directors have elected to keep annual membership dues at their current levels for the third year in a row. Member renewal letters will be mailed to members in early February. Got this yesterday, and maybe everybody else did too. December SBE Web Extra on December 31st, 3 p.m. Ralph Hogan, certification chair, and John Pori, SBE Executive Director, will be joined with host Kirk Harnack, and Ralph will discuss the process of developing and the specifics of the new ATSC3 specialist certification. And John will be retiring from SBE at the end of this month, which I'm sure you all know. He will discuss his tenure with the society and will share some of his stories from the past 28 years. Should be interesting. He'll also share updates on current SBE activities. So if you want to wish John well, join in on December 21st, 3 p.m. You can find information on the SBE website on how to join that. Another new business, Chapter 22 Expo. As we've mentioned, the tentative date is November 4th, but we may cancel. We're going to have to see where we get with Holiday Inn and where things stand with COVID at that point. The restrictions for COVID are pretty tough, and we could wind up paying quite a bit of money in penalties if we had to cancel. So our best bet before we sign a contract may be cancel and look at 2022 with National joining us, but that's a decision to be made yet. I'll be meeting with the other officers sometime in the next few weeks, and we'll try to straighten that out and figure out where we are. If you have any questions about that, let me know. And does anybody else have any other new business or something you'd like to discuss?
Has a replacement for John Pore been selected?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I saw something about that in one of the periodicals I get.
The name escapes me. Vinny, do you?
Jim Ragsdale.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep. So I'm sure we'll be hearing from him very soon. Does anybody have ideas for presentation topics for 2021? Dean?
I have another one down the road.
Okay.
I'll query you with in another couple of days.
And
I'm
I
always
should be
available
able
if
to
people
find a
want
few
more
too.
tower pictures from travels. Not that I'm traveling anywhere or seeing much of anything, but I got archives. There's always
Okay.
archives.
And folks at SCMS, we should be able to hook you up with a couple as well.
Okay. We're looking for something for January. So if you want to get in touch with me.
No pressure.
I'm going to be handling it until Nolan gets finished with repack, which yes, there've been some holdups there, and he's been tied up with that. So go from there. Anybody have anything else? Sorry, we can't have a Christmas get together this year, holiday get together. We usually do that in January at Sant'Angelo's, but obviously we can't do that this year. And,
Maybe we should send Family Phillips from Kentucky Fried Chicken, everybody, and do one of these.
Ooh, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And that years, because 3 times that I've had it, I've been sick. So.
I didn't know you disliked us that much. Frozen Vinny's TV dinners.
You know, we could do a dinner party and have to deliver to everybody. That could get expensive though.
Yeah.
And then do a dinner Zoom party. Yeah, it'd be fun, but
Just
a little pricey.
have some patience and this will go away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Get vaccinated. And as my doctor said to me yesterday, stay home. He told me he's got a lot of COVID patients and it's tough to watch.
Yeah. Seeing New York City the way it is right now is quite an experience.
Yeah.
You could throw a bowling ball right down Fifth Avenue and get a thing.
Yep. And then you go other places in the country and it's like business as usual. So
And
the
that's
spread.
much higher than usual. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So All right. I see in California today, Los Angeles County, 4,600 hospitalizations due to COVID right now. That's crazy.
I feel somewhat, I don't know, challenged, fortunate, unfortunate, just sad. I've lost 2 family members so far.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that, Jim.
Sad, sad.
Both were preventable.
Well, if nobody's got anything else, I'll call the business meeting to a close. Who would like to second that?
I'll second it.
it.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Nay?
All right.
Okay, moving on. Dean Leeson from DCL Digital Solutions arranged for a presentation tonight. So I'll let Dean take it from there. Thank you, everybody.
Indeed. Good evening, everyone. It's really a pleasure for me to continue my relationship with the Chapter 22 that started back around 19 something. And if those that do not know me, prior to starting this group that I have right now, the DCL Digital Solutions, I was with Tektronix for about 8 years. And it was a wonderful time in the video division. Saw a lot of things launched in terms of precision time protocol and the testing of such. And it's been one heck of a track that I've been on. It all started in Syracuse, New York. I'm very proud to say that, where many, many wonderful people in the business have come from. And these days now with the company that I'm representing here, Video Flow, I just lost the screen. You do that, Vinny?
Yeah, I unshared mine, so Vinny can share Phil's.
All right. Anyways, Phil Whitebloom is going to do the presentation. He's VP of Sales for Video Flow. He's hiding down in Maryland this evening in his basement as normal. His presentation is based on, he's going to not, as he said, those weren't here, not make it a sales presentation because we know we don't want that. But IP over video is one of the most important aspects of what we're doing in television today. Even the mobile truck company folks found themselves shipping out fly packs to folks all over the country. They never thought they'd need that or experience the interface from a home location to back to a center. And the world has changed, I think, in about every way possible, exponentially for sure. So Phil's presentation will be enlightening. We're always bi-directional in communication. We like questions. You can ask them at any time. And if we don't have the answer tonight, then it's never going to work. No. The world of IP over video has really been a challenge, and it continues to be that way because it changes so darn fast. And we're also, Phil is very intimately involved in ATC 3.0. So he's been on the committees, he's been part of the subcommittees, he's worked with the manufacturers and group station owners. So I think you'll enjoy yourself completely. Thank you.
Thanks, Dean. Dean's a good example of showing what happens when he's talking about IP over video. That happens when packets arrive out of order. So we'll talk about video over IP. And
Nice.
just quick background on myself. A few of you, we may recognize each other. I used to have darker hair and no glasses, but now I have glasses and grayer hair. And I was at Sony for 23 years, but I was best known for running their government business and their education business for broadcast products and professional video products. And I was at a CEI, which was a systems integrator, when after I retired from Sony, and ran sales and marketing for them for about 6 years, and over at Imagine Communications. And I was running, you probably know quite a few of the salespeople that worked for me over the years from any of these companies that had called on you, although I was behind the scenes. So for purposes of transparency and things for today, I'm not an engineer, never played one on TV. And so I'll do my best to answer any of the technical questions, but we certainly can follow on at a different place. So as Dean mentioned, the video over IP is critical these days and becoming more and more critical, especially with the oncoming of ATSC 3. And one of the ways I like to start out presentations is just to say, you know, when somebody asks me what we do, like if I had explained to my mother or my wife or my family members or friends who are not in our business, you know, I try and explain to them the nuances of transmitting video over IP, which is a little bit easier than telling them what ATSC 3 is. So what I did is I take video and I replace it with water. And I tell them, I said, picture this. When water at its source is going to be pristine after it's all filtered properly and cleansed and everything else. And now picture coming down through the dirtiest possible pipes, clogged pipes and everything else, but it's got to come out of your faucet as pristine as it was when it went in. And that's what this is all about today. It's about taking your high quality content and putting it through the pipe and having it come out exactly as you want it at the other side. So that's what this is going to be about today. So I'm going to share my screen. And that should work. Everybody can see that okay? Hopefully.
Yep.
Great. So in this session, I'm going to talk about the enhanced usage of RIST specification to address network challenges. I don't know if any of you have heard of RIST or if all of you have heard of RIST, the RIST Forum. But RIST Forum is very similar to AIMS, if you're familiar with that, and some of these other where it's coming together. It came from the Video Services Forum, and it's a coming together of manufacturers, industry experts, broadcasters to come up with common minimum standards for interoperability and compatibility. So it's really, really important. So everybody participates together in a collaborative forum, which creates what I like to call co-opetition between the various manufacturers. So in this RIST forum, everybody who's part of this has agreed to build to these minimum standards and designs for the purpose of interoperability. But every participant then has the ability to add their own flavor and their own additional capabilities to these minimum specifications. So in today's presentation, you're going to see a bit of both. You're going to be talking about what's in the RIST forum, the collaborative body, and then where video flow exceeds that with its own capabilities. So, so more specific, so about the enhanced usage of RIST specifications to address network challenges, more specifically how video flow innovation drives ARQ, throttling, bonded load share, and a new concept of different protection. And I hope that you'll enjoy the session. As Dean says, ask any questions. So the reliable internet streaming transport, also known as RIST, is an open specification. The RIST is a blueprint of the communication to provide reliable and secure streams across any IP network to ensure interoperability. But the specification also opened the door for innovation, and this will be the focus of the session. I'm going to discuss the retransmission throttling, retransmission options, and bonding support as they were designed by Video Flow. So the agenda for today will be a short introduction to Video Flow. What is the problem with ARQ? Why should I care about bonding and load share, or why should you care? And the introduction to the use of bonding for deferred protection, and we'll finish with some use cases. So Video Flow was founded by ex-Scopus video network engineers, if any of you remember Scopus. The R&D team is made up of broadcast and IT specialist. And as you know very well, broadcast and IT are now married. And it's very difficult in a lot of places to find people who have skill sets in both. And but it's essential in running video over the IP. So I mean, VideoFlow has 5 patents under its name, and one of those patents was provided to RIST for the purpose of, as I explained earlier, that everybody is working from the same collaborative point for interoperable purposes. And it's the back end, that patent is the backbone of what's called the RIST simple and main profile. VideoFlow is one of the founding members of RIST. And this presentation that I'm presenting to you today was actually created by one of the founders of RIST and one of the founders of VideoFlow, a gentleman named Adi Rosenberg, who's our Chief Technology Officer. So what are you looking to do over the IP? So the IP network and over any type of IP network, fiber, MPLS, or open internet, has impairment issues, which you're aware of. And no one wants to see the picture like you do on the left. You want to see, 24/7, you want the picture quality to be of the quality you see there on the right. So what's the problem with just ARQ? And for ARQ, by the way, if you haven't heard that acronym or those 3 letters before, it's for automatic repeat request. And that's for requesting packets that were lost, damaged, other bad things have happened to them. So automatic repeat request only provides retransmission of packets in response to a loss. This is with ARQ. This in theory can provide 100% packet recovery if you have enough buffer and bandwidth to handle it. So bandwidth or impairments are not always under your control or our control. Let's consider the situation on the left part there. We have a nice stream flowing when suddenly the link budget goes down for a short period and comes back slightly. The stream felt a sudden depression and then packet loss. So at this point, the ARQ will start to retransmit or start retransmission in an attempt to recover the lost packets, which you see in the yellow there. I don't know if you can see my mouse here or not, but in the yellow there. And but the retransmissions are higher than the effective link budget at the time, and the red area shows the amount of retransmission that is still needed. In fact, what will happen is seen on the right side. Uncontrolled retransmission of these packets will hit the bandwidth ceiling and start to push down on the stream. So now the stream is getting choked, and it might get fully choked by the time it's done there. Okay, any questions? All right. So this is now part of the VideoFlow commercial, guys. So this is where the VideoFlow Smart ARQ comes into play. VideoFlow does close monitoring of the link budget and the retransmission requests. So streaming packets are prioritized while the retransmitted packets are first sorted out based on a timestamp. And a closed loop monitoring system measures the link budget and allows for the retransmitted packets to use only what is available. And this is a unique feature, a unique VideoFlow source adaptivity is used in case the link budget is not sufficient for the stream to pass through. I'm going to show you some examples. Here's what we're talking about. So we've introduced 3 different retransmission throttling options. The first one is the retransmission rate limit per stream. This is an allowance of bandwidth for retransmission on top of the stream and up to the link budget. The second is the full stream rate, and this is a joint allowance for the stream and retransmission to cut the stream as it goes above the allowance, but also allow retransmission to use any variable bitrate nature of that stream or bandwidth that's saving that the outcome for the risk main profile, null packet deletions that go along with that. And the third is shared protection, which is useful for risk tunnel with multiple streams. Instead of associating a retransmission level per stream, we shared the retransmission bandwidth as a shared resource and reduce the overhead there by 20 to 40%. So in a different presentation, I have a very cool slide that gives you a kind of a screenshot from the product itself that shows how this adaptivity works with these streams when they get choked off. And if you could picture, let's say you have 2 HDs and 3 SDs, your .2s, .3s, .4s, and your pipe is getting choked, and the video flow product here, you will set all the priorities for your streams. So it's not the system selecting those priorities. You've predetermined what they are in case your pipe starts to get squeezed or choked on that. And what happens is you may even decide that one of your .4 or .5, you don't care if it disappears for a little while the pipe recovers. So even though you'll have some quality loss because you've got less bits going through that pipe, what will happen is you'll still have your signals going through, and your viewing audience will still get a picture. Now, in the case of where one definitely dropped off, what we do is we stuff null packets in there so you don't lose clock. So when the stream, when the pipe opens itself back up again and all your streams start flowing, that everything's clocked properly and it just picks up and keeps on going. So you don't have to worry about that problem. So it's pretty cool. And by the way, you're watching PowerPoint here, but this all works in the real world. And there's quite a few deployments, as well as now in ATSC3, where we are deployed now with several places with Nexstar and in the ATSC3 environment. And then with Nexstar, then they are working with others in the Lighthouse environments, including Sinclair. So we have Sinclair installations through Nexstar right now too going there, and also Hearst in Tampa, WMOR just launched on December 1st. Their ATSC3 deployment went live, and they're using video flow in there. And with Edge Networks, which is a greenfield only ATSC3 low LPTV operation, we're the product in there. So there's quite a bit of experience that we're gaining in the ATSC3 world, and in the ATSC1, quite a few deployments worldwide for here ATSC1, other formats in other parts of the world. So any questions? Okay, so let's now discuss the bonding concept as allowed in the wrist simple profile. A sender device may use multiple links to deliver a copy of the stream to the wrist receiver. And just to give you an idea of what a wrist receiver could be, is any product. It could be a Cobalt, it could be Everts, it could be any product from any of the manufacturers that have adopted the wrist protocol into their product. And other ones, just so you know, you may have heard of, which is SRT and Zixi, Net Insight and things like that. This is where we play. And so that's what I talk about when I talk about delivering to the stream to a wrist receiver. So each link should use a specific RTCP session, and ARQ may be used at any link. The stream may be sent as the original IP and port, or those may change as long as the original wrist stream is maintained. This is similar to SMPTE 2022-7 with added ARQ for resilience. So to allow the wrist bonding support, Video Flow has added some support features. The sender can maintain the original destination IP port. The sender may change the destination IP port to be unicast or multicast, and the sender may change the source IP for unicast delivery or security concerns, security concerns. For retransmission, we've introduced the following three options. One is the first is normal stream and retransmission using the same link path. The second is stream only to be sent on a link. And the third is retransmission, the retransmitted packets only to be sent on a separate link. And later I'm going to show you an example of how this is used. So let's talk about, and continue on with, talk about dynamic load share. You may or may not have heard that before, but we allow the stream, the full copy of the stream, or split the stream between multiple links, where each link carries only a subset portion of the stream based on a ratio. And when a link fails, its portion or ratio is then taken by the peer links, and when the unit comes back, the link comes back. So the RISC receiver should support the simple profile sections of 5.3 and 5.4 specifications. So here's a standard binding example to draw a better picture of what I was just talking about. And in this example, we have three links. Two use a RISC main profile tunnel, and one link will use a regular simple profile unicast or multicast. And in this example, the sender has three links while the receiver is using only two. So the sender takes the stream and duplicates it across the three links, or triplicates it, so that 300% of the stream is reaching the receiver. So then the bonding allows for fast lost packet recovery, and any packet lost on one link may be recovered on a duplicate packet, may be recovered using a duplicate packet coming from any of the other links, the other two links. If the packet is missing on all the paths, then the ARQ will retransmit the packets over all of the paths, or just on one, depending on however you want to do it. So bonding is great for fast recovery and low delay. But like with everything, there's always a penalty somewhere. And this one, the penalty is that is higher upload and download requirements will be needed in this environment. Okay, slide 2, 3. So the dynamic load share is the ability to split the stream between multiple links, and each link will carry a portion of the stream based on a fixed ratio or dynamically allocation ratio. So in the following example, we'll split the stream into 45, 45, and 10% between the three links. You can see that there. Over here, right? So the receiver re-aggregates the three different stream portions back to one stream when it gets to it. If different link delays are present, then the RISC simple profile grace time should just be adjusted. And any packets lost after the aggregation may be requested over one or more link for full recovery. So the main advantages here, there's three of them. The first, it uses less bandwidth compared to bonding. Two is the adaptivity. If one link suffers, the other can pick up, and even a full failure on one link can be handled. And then three is simple. It's just a very simple redundancy scheme. And like I said before, there's always a price to pay somewhere. And the disadvantage is you may need a slightly higher buffer to adjust for all the links. So to make the load share a reality, it must be coupled with ARQ throttling to optimize the use of each link. And if you have any questions, just pop right in. So here's where VideoFlow introduced a new concept, which is called deferred protection. And deferred protection allows the use of RISC simple profile specification and provides three distinct ways of streaming. The first is the regular stream with ARQ on the same link. The second is just the stream only. The third is the ARQ retransmitted packets or retransmission only. And the fourth is any combination of the above and including load share. So in the slide you're looking at, we can see that the load share is performed on the stream, and 2 links are carrying 50% with no ARQ, and the ARQ retransmission is sent over a link C, which can be low capacity. This technique is a great saver on your ISP, because the A and B link budget is, you need no special headroom, and it saves a ton of cost. And this is perfect for unidirectional streaming like satellite and VSAT with recovery conducted over the internet, mobile for lower overall delay. And this is really cool. You know, we do this a lot where I'll step off my script here for a second and just say, when you need get your re-recovered packets, they can come over a very, very low cost network. It could be just simple telephone, cell phone type network to get it back your requested packets, and it's not choking your pipe at all, your main pipe, and it's very, very low cost. And because that fee is only on those charges are only used as you're using it, so it's a very popular choice. So here's some examples. So some bonding, load share, and use cases. The first use case shows the bit rate bonding across multiple DSL links that may be suffering from first mile packet loss. The second receiver takes the 2 duplicates and reassembles them into a single string. In the middle there, the next one is the dynamic load share. And in this use case, we split the stream at 50% between the 2 ISPs. This can be for regular load share, but also for locations where we need to tie multiple small links to haul higher bitrate streams. And then the third is a dynamic link backup. In this slide, we see the coupling on DSL and mobile for a load share and redundancy scheme. The main body of this stream is sent over the DSL with a short portion of 3% is sent over the mobile link, just to keep it alive and maintain that resource. If the DSL misbehaves, then the dynamic load share diverts the stream to the mobile link until the DSL comes to its normal behavior. So, this is the last slide in the presentation. So now let's see some use cases for deferred protection. And this first one is sending the stream over a main link and ARQ over mobile. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is similar to a previous slide, which I just talked about, where we use the mobile link for recovery only. And next is the use of deferred protection for seamless satellite backup. In this diagram, we see a common satellite feed that carries a risk stream to multiple destinations. Only the stream is sent to the SAT to save expensive satellite link bandwidth and is unidirectional. The light brown link shows the use of some minor packet loss recovery over an IP link, and in this case, 1%. Since most IP-based connections are faster than the SAT link, the IP recovery may add 100 to 300 milliseconds for recovery. So then let's see the second link. This one shows a full satellite delivery interruption, and this kicks in the full packet retransmission over an IP link. Even low-cost home ISP links can sustain high download speeds that can cover the satellite bandwidth. And this is done on demand to reduce operational cost. And at this point, that is the last slide of my presentation. So I'm open to questions. How did I do?
Done good. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. The one thing that how many that are on this call are dealing with IP problems or need IP solutions when they're working in their facility? About every day, right? about every day. Yeah, what the video flow has done for customers is take the guesswork out of where the errors are occurring, or the drops, or the misfires. If you can look into your system and do diagnostics at a very intimate level, you're going to find problems that you knew were there, but you couldn't identify, and it automatically will point you and help you to fix the problem wherever it may be. Again, the industry dealing with video over IP just exploded around, not and the everyday operations in a broadcast facility. You're dealing with it. A good friend of mine out in Utah, he and I were on the phone the other day, and he says, I've got a feed that's going over to Oregon, and it's predictable when it's going to happen, but what we can't do is find where it is in the stream of affecting the video over on the Oregon coast. So he's very much interested in having I'll call it a loaner unit. It's a proof of concept software. And what Phil didn't go into in depth is that most everything you saw there is done in software.
Everything is done in software, actually.
If you need video, if you need appliances, then yes, we have appliances and we can sell them like other people sell them. But everything that you see, and a whole lot more in diagnostics, processing, doing everything that you see for your needs and things you haven't seen happen are taken care of. And it is really in depth. Phil has.
Right. So one of the things, Dean, I could throw out as an example is I didn't get into all that because I wanted to do my best to abide by the SBE rules.
Unit heat pump.
What's that? Oh, I wanted to abide by the SBE rules and not do a company commercial, if you will, and keep it more industry focused. But a live example is there's a Hearst station in New York where their weather person has moved to Pennsylvania, and they wanted to keep that person there. Maybe it's one of your stations. And so that person has been operating out of their home before COVID, out of his home. And to the viewing audience, they think he's still in studio. But what happened is a farmer cut a backhoe on the fiber line, and that was knocking out the transmission. But because there was backup IP, they had video flow installed over there that nobody ever knew that went down. In fact, that was the only television signal that was live, was coming from there because of the video flow made it through after the fiber got cut, because it had a backup path and over the public IP. So what's really cool about this, and as you deploy more IP, and especially with ATSC3, which is the marriage of broadcast and broadband, this will become more and more critical all of the time, and being able to ensure that the internet and the IP networks were not built, as you guys know better than anybody, for video, not for broadcast video. And so there's a lot of problems with it. And the video flow products, they weren't designed to work in pristine networks. It actually started out looking at some of the worst networks in the world in Africa and sub-Saharan Africa specifically, and trying to create a product that'll deliver top quality video from the source to the delivery point. And that's where the birth of the video flow products came. So in the US, it's the networks, even the bad ones, are golden compared to what they were dealing with out there when they started the company 10 years ago. Any questions I could answer? Was it helpful? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dean takes care of all you guys. I'm very happy to have him on board, and very happy that there was an opportunity to get Dean, and would be more than happy to do any kind of Zoom meeting and hopefully one day in-person meetings and whiteboard sessions in person for any of your needs in this area with, technical or completely non-technical if you need to, share it with a CFO or a station executive that's not, that technical to explain, what the benefits are and what this does. But at the end of the day, it can't be any more simple than this. It's what I said at the beginning. We want your video, your content to get to the end viewers exactly as you expect them to be there and on time and fully secure. And we didn't get into any of the deep down security. We meet all the EBU standards. We have companies like Intelsat that put us through the ringer on security and everything else. And so we exceed all of the industry standards here in the US and in the EBU for security. In fact, I'll just leave you with this one point in that area, that in our system, that every minute we change our algorithms and our firewalls. And so even if you have a supercomputer bad guy or a bad guy with a supercomputer who hacks in through the video flow firewall, they, first they've got to realize they've been successful at it. And then they've got a few seconds to try and do whatever they're going to do. And by the time the minute is up, that they have now got to restart all over because all the keys have changed, all the codes. So it's a big deal, and it's a big differentiator along with all of the other monitoring tools that are built in. So that's it for me, unless you have any questions, or Dean, you have anything else I should touch on?
No. I'd say thank you very much, Phil. And if, again, questions, thoughts come up, excuse me, I'm a little tired. We're a little crazy in our house right at the moment. I would love to have a conversation. We have far-reaching expertise individuals around the world that we use to solve problems, answer questions, detailed your type of problems specifically for the facility or the organization. So that's pretty much it.
So I want to thank you. I want to thank you all for allowing me to, and Dean, to present to you today. It's really appreciate it. A great deal. So thank you.
Thank you, Phil, and thank you, Dean. Dean, do you have a website?
I haven't created a website because I go directly through the video flow. So,
Yeah,
Okay.
and that is www.video-flow.com.
Yeah.
And breaking news, they've just bought the Video Flow address, videoflow.com, from whoever owned it before. So it's going through. So now whether you type Video Flow or Video-Flow, you'll get to our website pretty soon. So, but it's video-flow.com right now.
Is that FLO?
FLOW. Let me put this back out here.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you guys, and thank you everybody for coming out tonight. It's probably not as busy as usual before Christmas, but it's still a busy time of year. So I appreciate your time tonight. And if Vinny and Gary and Kevin can hang out for like 5 more minutes after everybody's gone, I'd like to discuss a couple of things with you.
Yep. Hey,
Appreciate it.
Tom.
And Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you all have a great holiday and things are safe for you. Fred, yes. Fred joined us
hi,
from
this is,
Connecticut.
Fred. Yep, this is Fred Krampich, chairman of SBE 14. Hello, neighbors. I just wanted to thank Tom for allowing our chapter to participate with you guys tonight. As you know, you have to have 5 meetings in order to qualify for your rebate check, and we're at 3, and we're going for number 4 tomorrow with NB New York chapter, New York City chapter tomorrow for their luncheon. So feel free to join us there. And then also SBE 14 is actually having its meeting next Monday, the 21st. So if any of you are interested in coming to our meeting, it's going to be very exciting. We're having elections for chapter officers again. and also a little history on Connecticut broadcasting for radio and television, if any of you are interested in that. But and also thanks to Dean and Phil for the presentation tonight. Very, very interesting. And I did see a couple of our members that had participated. So I wanted to thank them for participating tonight, and wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy Healthy New Year. Thank you.
You
Thanks,
too.
Fred.
Thank you. See everybody in January.
Aye.
Hey, Tom,
Okay,
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, guys.
So long.
Hi, guys.
One by one, we're leaving. Is Kevin still on?
I think we lost Kevin.
Oh. All right. Well, I wanted to talk about the expo